Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai and I have been waiting to make this build for so long. As I'm hoping most of you know by now, there is a new expansion pack coming out called The Sims 4 for Rent. And in it, you'll be able to build, own, and operate your very own apartment buildings. And I am just so excited. Ever since I heard the news, I knew exactly where I wanted to start. Here on the screen, you can see the landgraab Brownstone, which is a default lot that came with the world of Bridgeport, which is the world that came with the Sims 3 Late Night expansion pack. And if you're not familiar with The Sims 3 or The Sims 3 Late Night, it was pretty much a mix of city living and get famous and also vampires. Yeah, it also had vampires. And anyways, this lot was just my favorite one to decorate and play in. And I don't know, when I heard that we'll be able to have our very own apartment buildings, I just felt like, why not start with a classic and I don't know, maybe give it my own twist. I tried to keep it as close to the original as possible, but I don't know, I also tried to make it look a little bit better. As we all know, the Sims lots aren't always the most beautiful, but I don't know, I think I kept it pretty close, and I also I don't know, made it a little bit better, a little bit more symmetrical. The original is not very symmetrical, but I don't know, I think I still kept it kind of realistic and a little bit mismatched, and I don't know, I think it looks pretty great. It ends up having 6 apartments. Some of them have 1 bedroom, some of them have 2 bedrooms, and I gave them each their very own style, their very own kind of storyline, and I don't know, it was really fun to just kind of come up with all these different tenant relationships and I don't know, dynamics and everything, which I just felt like, I don't know, it was really fun. I've never gotten to do that. It was definitely overwhelming at times to be furnishing 6 different homes and, making 6 different families up in my head. But it was a really fun exercise and it got me to try some really cool new styles. Like the one here in this first apartment, I made it very modern, but still with some classic elements like that fireplace, and I kept the flooring as what I imagine is the original flooring from the building, and yeah, I had started off with the kitchen. You can see it in the back, and I originally was gonna go with a very classic kitchen. I imagined that this apartment was maybe gonna be pretty much staying the same way that it was when it was first built. And then when I started furnishing, I found the home style chef hustle. I found the home chef hustle things, and I really just felt drawn to this pink swatch, and so I decided to go with that. And from there, I was reminded of my sister's real life apartment, and so I decided to take inspiration from her. And this apartment is obviously the layout isn't the same as her apartment, but I took inspiration from the style and decor of her apartment and brought it to here. And truthfully, I felt most comfortable doing that because my sister is actually an interior designer. So I thought if somebody's going to be decorating their apartment right, it's going to be her. And why not kick off these apartments with one that has the seal of approval, really, from a real life designer. But yeah, I used these wardrobes from the base game, and the colors were just perfect because that wood on the outside matches the flooring and the doors, and then the front part of the wardrobe matches the wall. So it's almost like they use the same paint even. But yeah, here I also put in a chair from the Pastel Pop Kit with a lamp from Growing Together, and here I also used the bookshelves from Growing Together, and I also ended up using a mirror that I think was from the Modern Luxe kit. I know the name of the kits, don't worry. And yeah, I really love that. I kind of imagined also that the person living here would be in a career similar to an interior designer, so either they're in the actual home decorator career, or maybe, I don't know, some other corporate yet creative job. And now we are moving into the second apartment. This one ends up having 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And the storyline that I thought of for this one, I was a little bit unsure of once I first started furnishing it. My original idea was to make it like for a couple of roommates or something. But as I like kept on moving forward and furnishing, I thought maybe I'll make this for like a newly single parent with their 2 kids. So I made it feel very like unfinished, or still like a work in progress. Afterwards, when I do like post-production work, I added in a lot of boxes, and I made a point to make the furniture maybe feel a little bit mismatched, like there's still like some of the furniture isn't theirs, or they're still collecting the furniture that they need. I imagine that like they just very recently relocated here, and yeah, I don't know, like they're still figuring it out. And some of the furniture is their landlord's and some of the furniture is theirs. And I don't know, like it doesn't feel completely comfortable and cozy and personal yet. But kind of like they're still trying their best to make it feel, loved and safe. And as you can see, like at the beginning, I chose a kind of like green color scheme. But later on I change it. When I'm furnishing the apartment that's right above this one, I end up using this same or similar green wallpaper, and I just felt like the green wallpaper worked better for the family that I had in mind for the upstairs apartment. And for this one, I end up changing it to more of like a dark blue, a little bit gray, a little bit of like dark brown. And I actually think that it ends up looking way, way better than what I have originally, as you can see. And yeah, we're starting off now with the master bedroom, the parents' bedroom, and I keep like the light green color, and I use this bed from Cats and Dogs. I think I still keep this bed. I just change it to the darker blue brown swatch. I also add this desk in the corner, and later on, again in post-production, I add like a whiteboard, the whiteboard from I think it's university. I put it on top of it, kind of like they're trying to keep up with all of their kids' activities, and yeah, I just make that area look like the most used in the entire house. Maybe they work from home and they work at that desk, or I don't know, they're just using it to organize their things and to organize the kids. And like I said, it's like the idea is that it's a newly single parent, and so they're still trying to figure out how to do this. And this is the kids' bedroom. I gave it a kind of yellow color scheme, and this one definitely feels a lot like warmer and loved, and it still has some boxes, but I also put in the I put in like posters and things like that to kind of feel like, like they did their best to settle in as soon as possible, but still a lot of clutter and boxes. And I really like this wardrobe from Kids Room because it has the photos on there, and I felt like, oh, maybe they have, photos of their friends from back home. And that was kind of the purpose of this bulletin board as well, is like they're still writing to their friends and they're receiving postcards. And yeah, I actually, the stripes wasn't planned to have like a stripe themed room, but between the bed and the I'm so at a loss for words, and the rug, it's really cute. And that lamp from, I think it was from a base game update, is just, I don't know, it's my favorite. I love the fox on it. It's just so cute. And here in the hallway, I put in some bookshelves. I thought about making it like a nice nook in the middle, but I end up just covering the entire wall with bookshelves. They were actually being a little bit glitchy, but I got it to work in the end. And here we are moving on to the third apartment, which is right above the apartment that we just did. It also has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but the way that I furnished it is for a young, successful couple with their infant. And I kind of imagined like this isn't their first apartment, this is like their second home, and this was kind of like where they decided to start their family and I don't know, start to settle down. So yeah, I gave it like a nice classic style, but still with just like a tiny touch of modern. And yeah, I wanted it to feel very cozy, very loved, and like they put in a lot of effort to really make it feel like their home, and that they were just really excited to like start their family. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt like they were really, really successful, but also very like warm, happy people. And later on, there's another apartment that I make that I decorated for maybe an elderly couple that I imagined is very grumpy. And I imagined that the family in this apartment was, I don't know, they were so full of love and care that they end up kind of softening up the older grumpy couple. And yeah, here we are already in the baby's room. It has like this very cute green and pink style, as well as that little sheep rug over in the corner next to the crib or under the crib. And I don't know, it also just feels like it's so full of love. Like this is not a sad beige baby. This is just a very, let your kids be kids, have a lovely, warm childhood. And I don't know, it just, this room really brings me so much joy. And I love that I got to fit in like the bookshelf and the changing table and like that big dragon toy. And I've always loved that swatch from the base game rug that has the ladybugs on it. I think that it's so underused, and it's just become my favorite over the past little bit. I just feel like it brings like a really nice sense of curiosity to every kid's room, makes it feel just very full of life, and yeah, it's just really cute, and I really want one. I don't know if it's just because it has the ladybugs or like the color match, like not the color match, but the contrast between the red and the green. It just, I don't usually like those two colors together, but it just works on that one. And anyways, here we are already in the parents' bedroom, and I kind of love the contrast of having like the parents' bedroom be just very beige and white and light, and then the kids' bedroom being so colorful and full of life. And I don't know, it just kind of feels like really sweet that even though the parents prefer like the beige life, that they'll still provide their kids with like a really fun and happy room, and not make them a sad beige baby. And I really like the bookshelf that I used in this room as well. I think it's from high school years. I don't really use it very often. It doesn't have a lot of swatches that work in my builds, but I'm really glad that I got to use it in this one. I think it worked perfectly. And here we are already moving on to the other apartment that's on that same floor. This apartment is the one that I made for a couple of roommates. I imagine that they're in college. So I tried to make the furniture just be like you thought that other apartments maybe had mismatched furniture. Like I wanted this one to really be mismatched and to really feel like kind of grimy, like this is nobody's permanent home. They don't really care. They're just trying to do as little damage as possible to not lose the deposit, but really not care too much about what it looks like or what it feels like. I specifically love the patio chair that I added to the dining table. I end up putting that same chair, I just copy it and put it out onto the balcony, because this apartment does have a balcony, because I just kind of felt like, I don't know, there's something so poetic about like a college apartment having patio furniture inside. And here on this wall, I put like a crack in the wall and then also like a poster very poorly put over it. I feel like that feels very realistic. And yeah, I kind of just imagined it. It was a couple of college kids that just, I don't know, don't have a lot of money. They're just trying to get by, and I don't know, they don't have a lot of decorating skills either, or even like a lot of time to really make this space feel comfortable. They're just trying to survive school. And with that in mind, I gave them also just like really basic furniture as well, where it looks like, it's just the cheapest furniture that they could find, to just put their stuff somewhere. And yeah, a lot of posters, poorly planned out, just kind of put on the wall. And I had used that curtain over there, but I felt like it was just a little bit too far on the grimy side, so I ended up putting a real curtain later. In this room, at the beginning, I end up giving it this really dark color, but then I choose a different swatch on that bed, which I don't use often because it has pretty bad swatches, but I end up using a different swatch than this darker one, and it ends up lightening up the entire room, and I decide to kind of switch that up a bit. In this room specifically, I also end up adding a lot of boxes and kind of making it look also like a little bit unfinished. So either they moved in right when they were starting school and then they didn't have time to properly unpack, or I don't know, or they just never want to settle in fully, or they're maybe, I don't know, graduating and they're on their way out. I don't know, I just, do whatever you want with your storyline. But yeah, I wanted this one to feel just a little bit unfinished. And I didn't think too much about like the relationship between the roommates, like themselves, like between them. But I don't know, I kind of imagined maybe it's like they don't really see each other that often. They're kind of on different schedules, but just like, I don't know, at some point they become friends playing video games or something like that. I don't really know if they're like in the same major or a different one. But yeah, here we are on the second to last apartment. This is the apartment that I was talking about that I imagined for kind of an older couple. I thought maybe they were professors at some point, maybe they're writers, and yeah, I imagined them as like the elderly couple that I'm not sure if they have grandkids. If they did, I don't think that they would be the kind of grandparents that are like, oh, you need a break from the kids, leave them here. I feel like they'd be the kind of grandparents that are like, keep your kids' grimy hands away from my things. So yeah, I imagine them to be very grumpy, but maybe with a little bit of love from that family with the infant that lives below them. They soften up a little bit and, I don't know, turn it into some kind of Oscar-winning movie. And as you could probably tell, I furnished a lot of this apartment like off camera before I started filming. I was kind of like wandering around the building and trying to figure out what storyline I imagined for each apartment. And I don't know, I kind of started furnishing this one to see if the vision worked. And yeah, I got a little bit carried away. I was gonna just like delete it and redo it on camera, but then I just kind of felt like, I don't know, we're already watching like 6 different apartments get built. I don't think it's that deep if we miss most of this one. And yeah, I feel like this style is probably the closest to what I imagine like the most original apartment here looked like. Like maybe they've been here either since it was built or it was a family apartment and they moved in here after somebody passed away, or maybe, I don't know, they've just been living here. They've just been living here for a really long time and they've been really good at maintaining it and keeping it, as it was. So yeah, I put a couple of planters out here on the balcony. I imagine that they like gardening as just like a little side hobby. And I put one real planter and then a bunch of just like the terracotta pots that are just the regular like house plants. And then here in the bedroom, I put in a dresser, I put in a desk, and I put in a lot of bookshelves, as you can see here. And I also used that bed from Base Game that it's one of those beds that gives your Sims like the uncomfortable moodlet, which is really annoying because I feel like it's a really nice bed and it works in so many spaces. And I don't know, I really like using it, and it's just a pain when it gives you the uncomfortable moodlet because then you just gotta make them comfortable again and you just want them to sleep. I don't know if you I think maybe if you upgrade the bed it goes away. But anyways, we are finally on the last apartment, and I was a little bugged that the windows on that side were really low, and so they were kind of clipping into the counters, and I was trying to avoid it, but I don't know, I end up having to let it clip a little bit, not too much, but yeah, I also end up using the ones from the, oh gosh, I'm gonna try to have to say it again, the home Home Chef Hustle, from the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. I end up using, I think it's a different swatch than the one that I used in the first apartment. But yeah, it just works really nice. This apartment is the one that I imagined has been like the most renovated. In my head, the people here, it's a couple, and they have been traveling for a lot of their life, working remotely, making a lot of money, and they recently decided to settle down, to buy a place, make it their own, and I don't know, either start a family or just settle down and live more comfortably. And I also imagined that in their second bedroom, because this one has 2 bedrooms, that in their second bedroom, there is a teenager. And I imagine that maybe the teenager is somebody's niece who can no longer live with their family for whatever reason, but then thankfully they're very loving and accepting aunts, uncles, whatever, decided to take them in because they just moved back and they had an extra space for them. And so they get really spoiled and they get really loved, and it's all in this gorgeous apartment that's super nice, open plan, very modern, very purple, and yeah, I really like the way that this apartment turns out. And I got to add that games table from Growing Together, which I think is perfect because I totally imagine this family being a games night family. So yeah, it fits perfectly, and I added 3 chairs, 1 for every member. But yeah, we are finally at the master bedroom now, and I used the bed from City Living. I really like using that bed. It has the sweetest swatches, and I also really like the duvet that it has. It kind of looks braided. It looks really nice. And yeah, this kind of open closet, which is also very, very nice. I wish that we had more options for like the kind of open closet concept. I mean, I know it's a lot to ask for, but yeah, it's really nice. I just wish we had it in like different styles. But yeah, I put in a couple of rugs. I think the rugs just match the colors and the style so perfectly. And here in the corner, I put in these shelves from high school years. I think they fit so nice, especially when you need smaller nightstands. And here, after I find these sconces, is when I decide that this is going to be the kind of like a non-overhead lighting room. And I end up putting a lot more of those sconces in, and it looks so cute. Way softer and more aligned with the storyline, or like, I don't know, yeah, storyline and family that I had in mind for this build and this house. And here I just put in a lamp from Book Nook and a chair, which I think is from Cats and Dogs, in the white swatch. And I don't know, it makes it feel really cozy. And here we are finally in the teen bedroom. In here, I use a lot from Pastel Pop, a lot from high school years, and this wallpaper, which I'm kind of obsessed with right now, it's really just base game. But it's in this swatch that I don't think I've ever used until like recently, and I've had The Sims 4 since it came out. But I don't know, it just worked so perfectly in this room, and I love the mix of the different patterns and colors, and I think it just works so nicely. This room turns out just feeling so feminine and so happy, and I don't know, it just feels like this is just a really nice room to be in. And I also put in a lot of like study stuff. Like I feel like the teenager that lives here is like, you know, they're an overachiever. I add all that in post-production. And here's the bathroom. This is one of the few bathrooms that I kept in the actual video because I'm actually really proud of it. It's very modern and it has all these fun colors, and I don't know, it just works, and it's super cute, super nice, and I don't know, I don't know why I was so proud of it. And I really, really love those furry rugs that I used in it. And here we are in the basement. In the basement, we have the building manager's office. We have a shared laundry, which I didn't film, but you will see. And we have the garage where I kind of put in like a woodworking table and a punching bag. And there's also like kind of a party room, also kind of like a lounge where people can hang out, meet up, whatever. And I don't know, I made the basement a little bit grimier than like the rest of the like apartments and shared spaces. I mean, by shared spaces, I mean like the hallways. But yeah, I kept it a little grimier because I felt like, I don't know, these kinds of shared spaces just aren't as taken care of as much as, you know, the lobby area would be. But in here in the building manager's office, I used a lot of items from Get to Work, because like the filing cabinets and things. Because I don't know, I feel like they really work in here. I also add like a lot of like cobwebs and like stains and cracks, and I don't know, just made it feel like just a little bit run down. Like it has not been like renovated or anything pretty much since this building was built. But yeah, here we are in the garage, which is obviously a fake garage. And since we don't have cars, I just put in a couple of bicycles. I imagine that also you can just put your Sims bicycles down here. I don't really know how the actual pack is going to work for storing your bicycles. But yeah, I also put in like that woodworking table, and you'll see here just in the corner, I'm going to put down, I think it's like a mat, a non-slip mat, and put in just like the one punching bag. I didn't really have that much space for like a full gym, but I feel like it's pretty sufficient. And this is the final indoor space that we're gonna see. I put in like kind of a lounge area, so like a couch with some seating and a TV. I put in that foos table, the ping pong table. I have a couple of bookshelves. I also put in a toy box. I put in a bar. I put in a little kitchenette. This is actually like a pretty stacked room. And it ends up just feeling very realistic, like a little bit too realistic. Like, you know, the furniture is kind of donated. It's really like run down. I end up switching the triple-seater, the 3-seater that we have right now. I end up switching it later for the one that, like the couch that you can get at the flea market. Because this build I actually made in the spice market of San Myshuno. So yeah, you could probably get it there. So yeah, I thought that made it a little bit more connected to the world as well, which felt nice. And here we are just working on the outside. I put out some trees. I make a little communal garden. I put in like a whole grill area. It has 2 grills. I put in one picnic table, like that's like a very classic picnic table. And then I also put in one of those just circular tables that has the umbrella on it. And I also put in like a couple of benches and things like that. In the original like Sims 3 version of this build, I don't think that the garden that they put is really usable. I think that all it is like kind of just a dirt path. But in this one, I wanted to make it like somewhat usable. And at some point I even considered like putting in, I put in a fountain. Nice. At some point I considered putting in like a basketball hoop, but then I remembered that we're in the spice market, so there's technically already a basketball hoop. I mean, obviously you're not guaranteed to put it in the spice market, but if you do, there's already a basketball hoop. So yeah, here's the picnic table that I was talking about, and you'll see later when I put in the umbrella one, I think you saw me briefly take it out of the library and just put it back. And yeah, just some outdoor lighting, and I kept it simple, not too much landscaping, because I also wanted it to still, your Sims will still be able to walk through. And I also put in like an outdoor sink. I think I used the one from Outdoor Retreat with the matching garbage can as well. Yeah, and here I am just adding some more garbage cans around because I realized I should probably do that. Although I do put in a little dumpster area at the back. Anyways, here is the full exterior of our build today. I think it looks amazing. I think it looks so accurate and so similar to the original version. And here is the shot you can see very clearly into the building, and also the garage. Here's the entryway with the 6 mailboxes, obviously not all functional yet. There you can see towards the stairs that go into the basement. Because of the railing glitch, I put in like that kind of caution bar just to kind of work with the railing glitch. Now here's the first apartment. I added a lot of plants, and I switched out the couch for this pastel pop one. And yeah, you can see I added also the tea making machine, and I added that plant lamp that looks really cute. Here I also added just a little bit more clutter to make it feel more lived in, a little bit more loved. I also added that little ottoman, that little like poof. Here's the bathroom with a lot of clutter added. Since it's inspired by my sister's apartment, it would have a lot of clutter. And here is the second apartment. As you can see, I changed the wall color. I put in a couple of those lunch boxes from the base game update, just to imagine that they're prepping their kids' lunch. Here's the hallway with a lot of boxes in it and the bookshelves. Here's the bathroom, super minimal. They still haven't figured out that routine. Here's the kids' bedroom. I also put in that friendship bracelet making kit so that they can send their friends some bracelets in the mail along with their postcards. This is the final look for the parents' room. You can see in the corner I added like all of those the bulletin boards and the clutter, and here's all the kind of moving stuff as well. And here is the third apartment. You can see here I added the high chair because I had forgotten it originally, and then when I was showing it to my partner, he suggested that I move one of the chairs from the dining table to the side and add in the high chair, and it looks way more realistic. I really love it. And here is the final look for the kids' bedroom, for the baby's bedroom. I added also the hamper so that they can go to the shared laundry. And here is the parents' bedroom. Very cute, very beige, very soft, yet still warm and inviting. I really, really love it. Here's the bathroom for that apartment. I really love this bathroom. I don't use brown too much, but I think I'm going to start using it more. Here's the entryway for the roommate's apartment, and here is the first bedroom. I used that broken lamp. I think it's from the Basement Treasures kit. I think it worked really nice here with a lot of clutter, and their bathroom as well with the wet towels. Here's the living room. I put in that trio of mugs from the Everyday Clutter kit, just to kind of feel like, they don't really wash their mugs that often, even though they should. And here's the second bedroom with the guitar and the water bottle, because any college student knows that we need that emotional support water bottle. And here's the balcony that they have with just a cooler outside that I imagine is full of nectar. And here's the entryway for the grandparents' apartment, and here's the little bookshelf in the hallway that leads to the balcony. I think it just looks so sweet. And this is the other side of the hall with the mirror and the plant. This is the living space. I used an ottoman as the coffee table. I'm doing that now more often, and I think it looks great. It just adds a lot of personality, and I like that it matches the little stool as well. Here I put some mail, just like envelopes on the table. I felt like, I don't know, maybe they don't check their mail too often. It is all the way downstairs. And here's their bedroom. I even added like a little dining chair on the side because I couldn't find an armchair that would fit. And here's the last apartment. I really love all the clutter and art that I added like last minute to this one. I think it really, really completes the look, especially right there at the entryway. The mirror and the shelves that I added, I think really add a lot of personality. And here's the kitchen. I also put another trio of those mugs next to the tea machine. And here is the master bedroom. I added some clutter to the desk, and I also added like a little shelf with a painting right there next to the door. And yeah, it just feels really loved and really nice. Here's the bathroom with that rug that I adore. I put two of them together. I think they're from the Snowy Escape expansion pack, and they just had the perfect colors. And this one, I don't even think I did anything post-production to this one because it was already pretty perfect. And yeah, here's the shared laundry, which you didn't get to see, but I also really love. I put in a lot of like water stains on the walls, like, damage over the years, and it's just such a fun room. I think I'm going to be making a lot more shared laundry rooms. And here is the final look for the office. And here's our community hangout area, party room. I think it ends up looking so realistic, and I don't know, I feel like a lot of parties will be had in here. And this is the garage with a couple of vents into the shared laundry because the shared laundry doesn't have any windows. And here is the other side with the bikes and the punching bag, and of course our beautiful yard with all of the tables and the community garden. It turned out even better than I had imagined. Here you can see the back with the dumpsters, a little graffiti on the wall as well, just to make it even more realistic. And here is the final look of the exterior with the original for comparison. Bye buds, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, comment, and share with your friends. Talk to you soon. Bye!